Logic.tv show that I'm hosting. It's produced by CBS, and we are celebrating our launch here.
Awesome. Who thought this up?
The show was thought up by Adam Eland, standing right over here.
Come on over here, Adam. Come on over, Adam.
Jeff Marks, who's probably not too far away.
Probably around the corner.
Yeah, let's grab him.
Sure. Oh, can they do?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
And you, here, I'll hold the mic.
Okay.
And you're Lindsay Campbell.
Yes.
And what's your CBS.TV?
Yes.
So
Well, I put that on there. What does yours say?
CBS Interactive.
CBS Interactive.
Tell us what kind of shows you have planned.
So we do a daily show about news and politics, a little bit about pop culture, broadcast from New York and all over the country when we travel, and we grab a news story, one story a day, bring it out on the street and talk to people about it. We start the conversation, get people talking about important stories in the news that maybe aren't on the front page.
How did this come about? Who started it? How did it get started, and how did it come into being?
So it started back in October of 2006, although it started months before in preparation. But Adam Eland, Jeff Marks, and Howard Lindsay all got together and started a company called wallstrip.com, which was a daily finance show. Okay.
Wallstrip's a great show. Yes. Were you on Wallstrip?
Yes.
That was you?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm in a new disguise now.
Right.
So wallstrip.com, I hosted for about a year and a couple of months. It's now been taken over by Julie Alexandria in the hosting duties. But we produced that show together with Howard. We were acquired by CBS in May of 2007. And after the acquisition, we dreamed up another show in a different vertical, in the news and politics vertical. And so that's what we're doing now out of the same studio as Wallstrip. And now we're proselytizing at South by Southwest, like everybody else.
Wallstrip, great show. Describe a couple of of your favorite episodes of Wallstrip and how you set those episodes up and what you did in those. Okay.
We did a couple hundred of them before I retired and moved on to a new show. Yeah, it was a daily show, 5 shows a week. We were pretty good about doing 5 shows a week for a good long time. But my favorite shows were always the super interactive shows where we would be covering one stock a day that's at an all-time high, and we'd find an entry point to the stock that was very pop culture. So we'd find a way to talk about it that was relevant to people, even people who aren't fascinated by stocks. So some of my favorite shows include our Caterpillar show, Caterpillar, the big machinery company. We did a show using all Hasbro toys and like Tonka trucks, and we shot them on a bed of green AstroTurf as though they were full-sized, and then we cut in using Final Cut Pro shots of human beings, and it was like they were riding on the Tonka trucks, and so it was just like using our creativity to the max to tell a story about a stock. And then we thought, if we can tell a story about a stock, then we can maybe tell a story about anything. So that's what we're doing with Mob Logic. I did so many episodes of Wall Street.
What was your last episode? Describe the last episode of Wallstrip.
Shit. I don't even know if I can remember the last. The last episode aired on January 14th. And does anyone remember what the stock was?
I don't.
What was my
Last Wallstrip. What was the stock? That's okay. That's okay. We'll get back to that. All right. Now what are you planning? How's this new show for CBS.TV different, and what kind of episodes are you planning for that?
So one of the ways that it's different is that it's not going to be stationary in New York. We're going to travel to different places that will be more relevant to the stories that we're covering. So we're going to travel mostly within the contiguous United States, but hopefully we'll get out of the States sometimes too. We wouldn't be here, for instance, maybe if we were shooting Wallstrip. And then another thing that we're trying to do is just break out of the host sitting on a stool, behind the camera and giving you the news of the day. We're trying to bring it out into the field and really talk to as many people as we can, as many days of the week as we can, and tell the story from the street perspective. Get other human beings, non-newscasters, interacting with the news.
Now, is this strictly on the web, or is some of this going to be actually on CBS?
The show is planned to be strictly on the web. We're formatted so that we could transfer to television if that was, in the works. But we're pretty happy on the web. We feel like that's the future, and that's the best place to be.
So you're in new media. What do you think the future of new media is?
Future of new media. I think everything will be cross-platform, and we won't have the boundaries anymore. So like you said, will our show be on television? Probably, and so will most things on television, if not all. I think that everything will be cloudware, and nothing will be stationary anymore. Everything will be accessible from everywhere. And some of the big players like Facebook and Google, they're probably drawing the blueprints for what the future is going to look like. But it's too soon to call what it's going to look like exactly. And so we should just all experiment with as much of it as we have time for and enjoy the ride.
What stories and people get your juices flowing at this South by Southwest in terms of interviewing people and trends and people and events here?
What are the big, hot tech properties and tech stories? Not really the person to ask for that. I mean, I spend my time, I'm really wowed by Matt Mullenweg of WordPress, and I saw you interviewing him. I mean, I think he's just so smart. It's just, that's what really gets me excited about being here, is just that a lot of the people that innovate the way that we use these tools in the future are here. So I'm kind of interested in them on a human level and talking to people, finding out the kind of humans that are behind these amazing applications. So I'll be really interested to see the keynote on Sunday and just to interact with people face to face like this.
Great. And so you're going to be walking around like we are, interviewing people.
Just like this?
And just whoever comes along, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if there's somebody who writes on the web or, syndicates their content on the web, that's even better because then we have that thing in common. But anyone's fair game for me because I'm doing an interviewing show.
Tell us again your web address and when people can expect to see these episodes that you're doing on your website.
All right, so my name is Lindsay Campbell. I'm here representing MobLogic.tv. The show launched today at South by Southwest. Today's Friday, right? Yeah, Friday. And we have gone live with the show today, and we're going to have new content from here on out until eternity.
And you're still based out of New York?
Yes. We're in the Chinatown, Soho neighborhood in New York.
Great. And I'm going to let you just fire off any random thing that comes to your mind now.
Okay. You mean,
just
for your show?
Comes to your mind.
I'm really interested in interviewing you.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
All right, go ahead.
Can I switch
go
that
ahead.
onto you? Switch the
all right.
onto you? Are you ready?
Hold on.
Okay.
All right.
So your name and your web property or blog.
Well, my name is Paul Terry Walhus. I'm an Austinite, and I have austincast.com, and we're also working for Todd Cochran at the Geek News Central podcasting network. It's a very wholesome, family-oriented group of podcasters, and there's about 20 or more, and so we're doing this for Todd, so it'll appear both places.
I didn't realize that you were wholesome and family-oriented. I'm probably not the show for you.
That's all right.
What does that mean? What does that mean on the web, to be wholesome and family-oriented?
Well, it's just Todd's a pretty clean-cut guy. He's a military guy, and mostly his podcasts are very clean-cut and wholesome.
Okay.
And technical. It's a tech podcast basically.
Okay. So what do you think is missing in the mainstream media when it comes to news coverage? What you personally, what do you think it's missing?
Diversity. I mean, it's missing the ability to zero in on a niche and things that people have small groups following them, like Matt Mullenweg at WordPress. There's a bunch of followers of WordPress, and they can zero in on several podcasts. There may be a half a dozen podcasts just on WordPress that you can subscribe to or pick a topic. That's what's missing.
So there's not enough variety.
Not enough variety, not enough specificity and detail in the mainstream media.
Is there room for us all to do the news?
Oh yeah.
Why?
Because there's so many different interesting niches these days that are growing.
Definitely.
Definitely.
More and more people are coming online.